back to another video. My name is Tierney. If you're new here, hello and welcome. And today, as you can tell, we're going to be doing the mid-year book tag. So we're halfway through the year, which is literally insane to think about how 6 months of the year is already gone. Like, it's already July. It just went by so fast. And we're gonna now just go through, I've picked these questions from like other people that I've seen doing them. So I just kind of picked and choose what kind of questions I wanted to talk about and what I wanted to answer. This is my first one doing this, so I've never actually had to feel like enough books to actually make this video before, because I feel like in the past I've read so slow, or I just never had time, and I just wasn't in like the reading-ish mood like the past years. I don't know, but this year I'm doing so well, so I figured why not talk about them and talk about the books I've read so far this year. This year I've been doing so well with reading. I've picked up listening to books more on audio books, which has really been helping, especially with my I have a longer commute now to work, so it's been a lot nicer and easier to read, especially books that I would never have really picked up myself that I'm finding. So that's a lot of fun. But anyway, let's get on into not all of the books, but like let's just talk about some books that I've read this year. Alright, so with the reading challenge, I wanted to read 50 books this year. That has been my goal for the past probably 3 years, is to read 50 books in a year. Past few years haven't been doing great with it, but this year I am currently 7 books ahead of schedule. I've read 32 books so far this year, which is insane to me. I haven't had a great reading year like this in a very long time, so I'm very proud of myself that I am 7 books ahead of schedule. So we'll see how many I actually end up reading this year. So yeah, I've read 32 books so far this year. I added this one because I thought it'd be interesting to see how many, but the question is, how many books have I read on my 25 books for 2025 list? And surprisingly, I went back and watched the video. I read 7 out of the 25 books, and I was really shocked because I thought that it was less. So the fact that it was 7 was like, wow, I'm doing great. Next question is best book I've read this year. That is hands down Manicled by Sen-Lin Yu. I'm pretty sure that's how you say her name. The Dramini fanfic that got so popular. I gave it a 6 out of 5 stars. Like, that is how good that book is. I had no words. It was the best book I've read so far this year. Unfortunately, I don't think you can download it anymore because she is getting traditionally published, but I'm so thankful that I was able to read it before it got traditionally published. So that is definitely the best book I've read this year. Next, the worst book I've read this year. So I listened to this book on audio. It is A Soul to Keep by Opal Rain. However, I think if I actually physically read it, like with a physical book or ebook, I would have liked it a lot more. I gave it a 3.5, I think, out of 5 stars, just because I could not stand the narrator, which really sucks. Like, if you're listening to books, you have to have a good narrator, otherwise I just feel like I can't. I'm like pulled out of the story, and just the girl narrator was bothering me so much. But I think I would have liked it and rated it higher if I physically read it with my eyes instead of listening to it. But that is the worst book I read this year, which is the only book I've given under 4 stars. I know some people are like, that's a red flag that you don't give anything less than 4 stars or 5 stars, whatever. And I'm like, how? Because I pick books up to read because I know I'm going to enjoy them. So why would I pick up a book I don't think I'm going to enjoy? You know? Like, it doesn't make sense that people think it's a red flag if I don't have less than 4 stars ratings and stuff like that. But to each their own. I think if you like the book, just rate it how you want. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to pick up books that I don't have any interest in reading. That's just me. Next, best sequel I've read so far this year. It's going to have to be this. Well, I have 2. I have 2 for this. We have Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Obsessed is like an understatement. This series is literally so good, and I'm obsessed with it. I have no words. So Onyx Storm is one of them. And then I'm gonna count it as a sequel because technically it's a sequel, I guess, because it takes place with this like same characters. Why? Whatever. You're gonna see what I mean. But One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I loved this book. It was so good. It gave me all the feels. Charlie and Alice were perfect. I loved getting to see Charlie's story after like seeing him in Every Summer After for the first book. So I love this book. It was so good. All right, next question. New releases that I haven't read yet that have already been released. So I have a couple that I have been released that I've been wanting to read that I just haven't had the chance to read yet. So we have Left of Forever by Tara Dewitt. This is technically the second book after Savor It by Tara Dewitt. They both take place in Spruance, Oregon, and I loved that book. I loved Savor It, so I'm really excited to read this. Especially now, I feel like small town is like the vibe for summer. I don't know why, but that's just what I think of when I think of summer. So we have Left of Forever. Then we also have Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. I've just been really dying to read this since it came out, so yeah, and it's perfect summer read for right now when I'm filming this. So I really, really, really want to read this. I haven't read a Megan Quinn book yet, but I always see her on TikTok and like her books, and I need to get on the bandwagon, you know? And the last one that is a new release that I haven't read yet is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I need to read this one ASAP. I read her other book series, The Shepherd King duology, and I devoured it. So I know I'm going to enjoy this book. Like, I cannot wait to read this. I love Rachel Gillig so much. So cool. Next question. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So I have a couple. I am very, very excited for Wild Card by Elsie Silver. That's the fourth and final book in the, oh my gosh, what is it? The Rose Hill series. I love anything Elsie Silver writes. Literally, she can write anything and I will be obsessed with it. So that one I'm so excited for, especially with who it's about, because you've been getting like, you got like snippets of them in the last book in Wild Side. Oh my gosh, so good. Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. This is coming out actually very soon. I think it's in July. It is also based off of a fanfic that she wrote of Draco and Hermione. So I would really like to read that one. I'm very excited about that one. And obviously Alchemized by Senlin Yu, because that is the traditionally published version of Manacled, and I can't wait to see what changes and what stays the same and how the story changes. I'm very excited. I hope I don't compare it though, because I don't want to like have so much high hope and then compare the two too much. They're going to be completely different stories, because one is clearly a Harry Potter fanfic and the other one is a fully done book, so I'm like, I really don't want to compare them that much, but we'll see. But I'm so excited for that. I got tickets with my friend to go to a midnight release party where she will be at for this book, and I cannot wait. Like, I'm so excited. Oh, this is probably my most anticipated release this year. Next question is, what is the biggest surprise of the year, either good or bad? I don't really have any bad because, like I said, I don't try to read books I don't think I'm gonna like. But a biggest surprise that's good was Emily Henry. I've read People We Meet on Vacation and Beach Read so far by her, and they were so much better than I expected. I was just not, I think because it felt overhyped, and I've heard mixed reviews on those ones, and I don't know, I've just been putting her off for so many years, and then I finally did it, and they were just so good. And the story just grips you, and I'm really excited to continue reading the rest of her books. I cannot wait. But she was definitely a big surprise for me because I was not expecting it, and I understand the hype now over Emily Henry, and just the writing was just so good and the storyline so good. I loved everything about them. Next one, favorite new book boyfriends. I have 3. First, we have Charlie from One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. He was just so good, and he just did everything he could to like be with Alice and make her comfortable and just show up for her, and I just love Charlie. He was so good. Oh my goodness, love him. Then we have Kingfisher from Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Oh my gosh, I love him. I fell in love with him within the first like 10 seconds he was on the page. Like, I'm obsessed, and I cannot wait to see what happens and what's gonna happen in the next story. And oh my gosh, I've been hearing snippets of his point of view for like the audiobooks, and oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with him. So, and last one is Ransom in Shield of Sparrows by Devaney Perry. I'm not going to say much else about him because I don't want to give out any spoilers for anything, but yes, and I can't believe that the second book has not been announced yet or when it's going to be coming out, because this left off on such a cliffhanger and I just need to know what happens. Like the last 50 pages, what happened? Oh my gosh. If you've read this, be friends with me so we can talk about it, because I need to talk about this with people. Okay, a book that made you cry. So I don't really cry reading books, unfortunately. I'll tear up, but I won't like full on sob like I see other people doing, especially with the same books I'm reading. Even though I know it's sad and it's impactful and it impacts me, I just for some reason don't cry a lot. But I did shed a tear. Like I've shed some tears when I've read some of these, but the one time I really full on, like there was tears fully coming down my face was for a book from last year, but it was Abby Jimenez, Part of Your World. So, but that was last year. So this year, I'm also gonna say Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, because it was still, all of her books are just like, there's always like feel like a gut-wrenching part in it, and it just is like so relatable, her characters and the way she tells the story, that they just hit me so hard. So I don't know why, but this one definitely teared up. And I also teared up when I was reading Manicled, because oh my gosh, just like I can't say anything without getting spoilers because I don't want to spoil it, but it's like you go from the present to then like the past, and you figure out and you're like, oh my god, they have no idea. And then, oh my goodness, it was just, oh, it was so good. I have like no words. It was just so good. Next, we have a book that made you happy. So I have two, and they're both by the same author because she just makes me happy. That author just literally will make me happy. Any book I read, I'm instantly giddy and giggling and kicking my feet because she just makes me so happy. Like just the books are so fun. And that is Off to the Races and A Photo Finish by Elsie Silver. I loved these books. There's no other words. Just oh my goodness, they were so good. They just make me so happy, and it makes me think of summertime and I just want to be at a ranch and just outside. Oh my gosh, just, I can't like describe the feeling that reading these books gives me, except it's just pure joy. Next question is the most beautiful book you've bought this year. Now, I feel like I haven't gotten that many, like I feel like they're not all like, there's not many standout-ish books that I've bought this year that are, I could say that I've gotten, but there are two that they're gorgeous and I'm obsessed with them. So we have, I've already talked about them, but they're literally just so stunning. Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. We have these beautiful sprayed edges, and then the end papers are gorgeous. And if you've read the book, you'll understand what the end papers are. This is pretty too. Oh, sorry. So definitely this one, Shield of Sparrows. It's one of the most beautiful books I bought this year. And The Knight and the Moth, also literally stunning. So beautiful. And then these end papers, like come on. And then this is the naked cover. Just, oh, they're just literally stunning. I can't get over it. All right, next question. Favorite new author, either a debut or new to you? And I'm going with Bailey Hannah. I literally I was working a shift at a different store, and I noticed they made an end cap that's like suspenseful romances, and this just caught my eye. Like her name, the covers, I'm a sucker for cowboy small town romance, so this just dragged me in, and then I read the back and I was like, this seems really interesting. I really want to read it. And so I read it, and it was so good. Like I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, because I've never heard of her before. I've never heard of this series before, but it was so good. So she's new to me. She's not a new author. I think she's getting traditionally published, because she was indie published, I'm pretty sure. So this is the first book, Alive in Wells, the Wells Ranch novels. So I'm really excited. I want to continue this series because it was I really enjoyed it. It was, I guess you could say that's also a big surprise. Like another book that was a big surprise was this one. Really, really enjoyed it. All right, next question. Are there any books that I would want to reread this year? And yes, I want to reread the ACOTAR series because I also need to finish it, but I've just been in the mood to reread it and go back and maybe like even annotate it, and like this was one of the first books series that I fell in love with, so I really, really want to reread this year. And I feel like I need this in my, like I need a good fantasy that I know is really good, and then I could just read really quickly, and I want to be back in this world. I miss it so much, like so much. So yes, ACOTAR is what I want to reread. What I want to reread this year. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. And the last question I'm going to be talking about that I've wanted to do is, what books do I need to read by the end of the year? So I have two. It goes kind of off of that last question because I really need to read A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas because I still have not read this book. So I figured if I reread all of ACOTAR, then go into this book, I'll be able to like fully commit and keep going, you know? So I really need to read this. And still going off of her, I still need to read House of Flame and Shadows. I think that the hype and everything has cooled down a lot significantly since this came out like a year ago, and now I feel like I won't have as much high expectations for it because people kind of seemed a little disappointed by it. And I know I need to read this book before I read this book, so that's why I want to reread ACOTAR, read that book, then go into this book. So those are the two books that I am wanting to really get to this year. By the end of the year, I should say. Yeah, I feel like, I'm sorry if this wasn't as much of a variety as like some other people's videos they've seen because I haven't read as many as other people, but I still read enough that I felt like I could do this. And I feel pretty proud of myself. If you made it to this part of the video, let me know what your most favorite read has been so far this year. I always love finding new authors and new stories, so please let me know. I would love to know. Anyway, this is so fun. I love doing this. I need to do more like talking about books that I've read. I feel like sit downs and stuff like that. Anyway, that is going to be it for today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe down below for more fun videos on the way. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!